Hello everyone, Reaction Gaming Esports here with Fragon. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Fragon. I'm a coach for Team Israel for World Cup 2019 and head coach for the Triumph for the past contender season.
Well,
Yeah, I'm very excited to be here.
yeah, and it's great to have you here as well. And obviously, with Team Israel, you very recently had a successful run in the Euro Cup, and you even performed well in the what was dubbed the Group of Death. So, can you tell me a little bit about the experience you had in the Euro Cup?
First of all, we took every match as itself, and we tried to prepare as much as possible based off the players we know on these teams, and we kind of knew what to expect based on the players. But most of the preparation was like ourselves because you can't scout much, so we focused on our compositions, our setups, try to go over and think about scenarios that we might deal with, and just go over this like very basic team stuff that will help us against any team, not just specific team.
And yeah, I
And
definitely think that's the right way to go when obviously a lot of these players maybe haven't played at such a high level before. Maybe some of them came straight off the ladder, so you don't really any scouting information, as you just said. So just focusing on your own game plan, I think, was definitely the correct choice. And so when you're bringing in this team for the 2019 World Cup, how did you go about selecting the players? Because there's a lot of maybe players we haven't seen it in places like contenders. So how did you go about choosing your roster?
first of all, we did an open tryouts for everyone in Israel, um, above like a certain SR, but we don't have much talent in Israel, so picking up the players like it wasn't the hardest thing, because the difference between the good players and those that comes second is very large. So it's very easy to see who's the best player. So it's not that easy to pick the players, but it's very hard like to choose like the right players that can cooperate with each other and actually play like meta and have like let's say wider hero pool. And like a hero pool, it's something that we don't have it at all in Israel, and we have to think like what we can play around. So every player we picked, we try to find like what he can, even not he's not he doesn't have like a wide hero pool, but it's still think what he can bring in a team. It listed on one hero. So that's was really the thought about bringing these players.
Yeah, it probably probably best to because as you say with the maybe you don't have to, or at least as we were talking about before this, maybe you don't have to stick to a hard meta game. If you have one player who has a particular specialty, like say Widowmaker, then you have them run that character and just do the best they can with it. Maybe that's the way to go. Who knows? But I notice here
Yeah,
that you only have one returning player from the 2017 World Cup, so it's going to be the first time on an international stage for many of these players. How are you preparing them for this? Because obviously it's going to be a big mental step up for them.
yeah. First of all, the monkey bubble was the first thing we wanted to play as a practice for the tournament. So these players will have like a first experience with playing with a higher level Overwatch. So this tournament was the higher the higher goal for this tournament was practicing more than winning. So the next thing we started working on is just basic thing is just explaining what to expect uh, when you're getting there into the World Cup itself. And like the closer we will get to the tournament, we will start working like on more specific things and uh, going talking, like, making conversations with them and um, get their excitement and just try to put this excitement, like I would say, in the right way. You know, like you can be excited by the tournament, but your goal is to aim this excitement for them to actually want to play rather than being afraid and anxious about the game.
Yeah,
So like this is the problem we had in the prior Team Israel in 2017. And we also like one of the biggest focuses on this series, like having fun, you know, lighter atmosphere in the team that we didn't have before. So that's something that can really helpful during the stress times in the World Cup.
Absolutely, but you can't take it 100% seriously and go absolute try hard. You do still have to have fun with it because at the end of the day, you're playing in a fun tournament, a highly competitive one, but at the same time, it's a video game tournament. You can't take it to way too far. One question I do have to ask here: was there ever any contact with EQO to see if he would like to play for the team?
Yes, I've tried to contact him, but he wasn't interested to take any part of in the Israeli team.
That's fair enough. He has been play. To be fair,
It's I'm not judging. I'm not judging. It's his way. He can do whatever he wants. I asked him out of courtesy, but I he said no, so it's fine.
yeah, and a lot of Overwatch League players have turned down the chance to compete at this year's Overwatch World Cup. Like we saw Nero turn down Team USA tryouts, and a lot of the players are becoming increasingly concerned about burnout. While the players like
Yeah,
just with many players retiring from the league. So the thing, okay, I want to make sure I don't become sick of this game. I'm going to take a nice break over the summer, or, and then the autumn period, and then be ready to come back in January for the Overwatch World, no, for the Overwatch League, and perform my highest level. So that's why many of them are taking the World Cup leave.
yeah, and also like the direction of the World Cup during the years is like from being the more serious competition prior Overwatch League and being like more a showcase tournament with the time. And I think this year it's getting even more and more that way. Like like the bigger talents not coming and they're giving their spot for like the new talent to show themselves. Those who didn't have any opportunity in like in contenders or open division, so they can actually show themselves in the World Cup. So I think this is the direction of the World Cup. I think it's going to be like more and more popular that Overwatch League players will turn down their nation teams. Yeah, but this is just only my opinion, speculation.
I do expect that, especially in coming years, we will see more and more Overwatch players just turn it down entirely, especially because they'll be able to do a heck of a lot more travel as well, so they'll probably be even more mentally exhausted. So I think, what's the point of me going and traveling again for World Cup? I might as well just go home at this point. But one thing we haven't mentioned so far is that you yourself did compete for Team Israel in 2017, and as a sport player as well. And when did you decide you wanted to transition from player to coach?
Coaching, it's always something I wanted to try. Like I've told myself that I will try to coach before I quit the game, or I quit esports overall. And after the World Cup, I realized that I can't get to tier one or being better player, and for me, it's a waste of time to keep trying to do it. And so I realized that it's the best time to for me to transition to the coaching. Yeah, so I'm doing this for almost 2 years already.
I got to say, it's a smart decision when you know that maybe you aren't capable of reaching tier one of the Overwatch League. I think that's definitely the correct decision to transition into coaching, where there are probably more opportunities as well.
Yeah, like you can being delusional forever and say like I can make it, I can make it. Like you have to at some point understand like maybe it's not doable, so you have to think reasonable and make the right decision.
Fortunately for me, I'm a gold tank player, so I don't have to. I never had any delusions of making Overwatch League. And so, when you were a support player, did you? What was your favourite thing about competing on the international stage for the Overwatch World Cup in 2017?
First of all, it's the like the competition itself, like the adrenaline of winning and beating the teams that are better than you. That's the biggest thing that you drives you to keep doing it again and again, and also like improving as team. The biggest like second biggest thing is just see the improvement as team, see the where you started and see like your the progress and the bigger teams you beat, the bigger names you beat. You like it's another step you take forward, and it's a big satisfaction seeing yourself and everyone around you improving and stepping up and being better as a teammates and as a players. So it's really amazing feeling.
Yeah, and even when you played back then, what was it like to play alongside EQO and Cafe? Because not only did you play with them on Team Israel, you were all part of the same team, Zen Gaming Esports. What was that like to then see your ex teammates progress onto, or your ex teammate EQO progress onto Overwatch League?
Ikio is a person that I've learned from him so much. Not only about the game. The game is wasn't my problem most of the time, but his mentality. It's like you're just talking to him for really short time. You understand it's a champion mindset. Like back then, I already knew this guy is just meant for the great stuff in this game, and like I knew that his time in Team Israel and in Zen Gaming is very short, and like this guy is meant to be the best in the game. And like all I've tried to do during all this time is just learn from him. And like I'm way older than him, and still like I felt like I need to learn from this guy. And he's very smart and like very intelligent to his age. And by conversation with this guy, you won't make a difference. Like, and you won't say this guy is like 17 or something like that. There's no chance. He's very intelligent and very nice guy. Obviously, like we had our problems within ourselves. Like nothing was perfect. But if I like look back in time, like most of it was very positive, and I learned a lot from it. Yeah, it's one of the I'd say like the most positive things that we had in Team Israel, like Ikio and his like mentality, and like I hope like I hope that not only me learned a lot from him. I can say on my about myself, but others I know some of them also like learned a lot from him and very looked up to him.
And yeah, I think he's certainly one of the most respectable players in the Overwatch League scene. But since we've been talking about the Overwatch World Cup, we've talked about 2017, the upcoming 2019, the Euro Cup. Is there a particular team you're looking to face off against when we get to the 2019 World Cup? Is it revenge against Team Iceland? Do you want to take on the Titan South Korea?
Oh,
What would be your dream match?
dream match.
Yep.
I don't know. I think we still have like a something that unfigured with Team Germany. Like we had this like epic game in 2017. Like there was both teams are choked and we like played so bad both of us. It's it felt like it finished unresolved. So I think we need like a proper game. Like Monkey Bubble was fine, but like we need to do it on the right stage. Do it again. Uh,
Go again.
Besides that, I don't know. Like, I don't think there's like other team that we feel like we want actually to meet or are very excited. Like besides like Germany, we have like small history with each other. But other than that, I don't think there's any particular team that I want to meet.
So you're not looking for a comeback against Team Iceland at all?
um, I don't know. Like I don't mind to play against them again. Like they're a very nice team, very skilled team. I think they're like their shot calling and the things they're doing is very good, and they are playing very well as a team. And like I have nothing to against them, like, or like reason to try to play against them again. And if what, I will try to avoid them.
Yeah, lost them once. You don't want to risk it again. That's interesting to me. Germany, that's an interesting one. For the most part, most of the teams I've asked so far just say, yeah, we just want to go against South Korea. But I think to myself immediately, no, you
I
really
don't know.
don't
I think
want
it's
to.
gonna be really boring, to be honest. It's not gonna be interesting for either sides. So
Yes,
at least the game against Germany is gonna be like some nice game at least.
yes, because I think everyone's agreed that South Korea is just going to win again.
Yeah, they have the biggest talent in the Overwatch League, and the biggest players right now, like the biggest carries in the star teams that are Koreans, and they can feel like four teams of four nation teams, and they still will finish in top four. So,
I
so they
remember
have.
that I was in a server at one point, and we decided to see how many unique South Korea World Cup rosters we could build that we still thought would win. I think we got to like 5 full rosters.
Five. Holy,
And
holy shit.
if we look at Overwatch League finals, let's think about all the players that are going to compete. So, say you got 6 players from Vancouver will be playing. They've kind of solidified their 6. Shock is rotating 8 players currently, and but 6 out of those eight are not are South Korean. So what you've got out of all the players who will be competing in the finals, only 2 out of 14 are not Korean, and that's a
Yeah,
lot for how
and
insanely
third
talented the
place
region is.
you had the New York, so they are all Korean as well. So
Yeah, and then fourth place was Hangzhou Spark, which apart from Gushwei
yeah, yeah.
was full Korean, and you've got to respect them. They are absolutely incredible. But
Obviously, like I admire each of these players and learn so much from these players, and it's for me it's a joy that we have such high skilled players. I don't mind if they're from Korea or
gosh no,
they're from an A.
we just want to see the best level of Overwatch we can. But moving up from
Yeah,
World Cup now and Overwatch League, which we've made a tangent onto. You're apart from being head coach of Team Israel, you're also the head coach for Team Triumph, which made a great, or shall I say, a triumphant run through um, Open Division and then Contenders Trials, and then all the way to Contenders, where you got to the semi-finals. And can you tell me a little bit about your time on that incredible run with Triumph Gaming?
it was really amazing experience. It's still not over. Like it's still we have the players still. Like we still as a team. So it's also accomplishment for itself. But the run was amazing. Like we've learned so much from this run. It was like very intense 5 months. We didn't have any um, break. It's no one thinking about it because like not many teams doing it. But like going from open division to playoffs, you have no break for like 5 months or even 6 months. Like literally no break. And when we have 3 EU players, so like the longer the run is, like it gets harder and harder to compete in these hours for them. So, but still, like players did amazing job. Like even playing, despite these like late hours, they still did amazing job showing up every night and actually like going from open division to semifinals and not taking any game for granted and just giving everyone just giving their best. And we also didn't swap any player besides A10 like very early. So it's also like a big accomplishment for me, and like it's these players I scouted and something I want them to succeed, and the way I scouted them, and it's like also amazing to see like something that when you're scouting and you see the tryouts, you also like kind of see the potential in the players and things you see in the future that might work in the team, and then suddenly you go fast forward 4 months forward and you see these things working and the team is doing well. It's really amazing feeling also for players as well. I mean, they have their individual experience about this team, about the team, and about the run, but I won't talk about in their name. For me, it was very teaching experience. I've learned a lot. Like it was me, like in these 5 months, I've learned probably my experience got like based on like 3 years that packed in 5 months.
I've got to say that Triumph's run recently from Open Division to Contenders was probably one of the most successful streaks. Winning first of all first place in Open Division, then first placing in Trials. Not like just made through either of them, like came first place, and then going toe to toe with teams like XL2 and other North American West Contenders teams. That's inspirational stuff coming straight from Open Division. No breaks, as you say. And apart from maybe Clockwork Vendetta, that's got to be one of the best stories we've had recently in Contenders.
Yeah, so we are the only team that actually did it in NA. So like in EU, um,
The only team. Wow, that's
yeah,
nuts.
yeah. The only team that did it in NA, and the first team did it actually going like semifinals from Open Division. And also like we didn't know it like when it happened, but we also break the streak from going from Open Division to trials like straight wins. Like we had 21 straight wins,
Wow,
and like
21.
we didn't know it's happening. We just like just playing and taking every game in a time, and suddenly like someone says, "Oh, you break the record." Okay,
Nice.
that's yeah, but it's nice, but like it's not something you are winning contenders with. It's nice, but you have to you're like, oh yeah, it's good, but you immediately like forget about it and just going like focusing on the next thing. Um, Also, like this season, like in order to be actually be successful in playoffs, like you needed flexibility and a hero flexibility. So we also not only we able to pick up a six players who can play goats back in open division, but also like they were picked for their flexibility. So like I planned. It sounds like now it sounds like, oh, it's really obvious to say that, but back then I've kind of was preparing this team for meta shift. I didn't know it was going to be like 2-2 because back then in March like there was like a big patch nerfing goats. So it's and also like there's no chance Blizzard will give like goats a run for an entire season. So like I expected in the meta change. So like it's very um, like challenging picking up players that can play goats and also be ready to play anything needed after the goats. So eventually we pulled it off. We could play the goats really well, and also when the meta transitioned later, we were ready for that.
Yeah,
And
like
as I said, we yeah.
A10 as a stick Widowmaker as well. That's one thing I saw recently from a highlight. And obviously you also have Crook on your social media, the mini roll thief himself. But I think that's all I have to say. Is there anything else you'd like to quickly mention?
Um, yeah, but besides like the players and me and like the coaching staff, like we have Triumph. It's like very amazing family. It's for everyone, like for content creators, for designers, or like for staff or players. I think it's really amazing place to be in. A place where you're surrounded by people that very like wanted to improve and they want each other to improve as well. So it's a very big learning like family. Like everyone wants to everyone's them around them like everyone wants to be the best and they want their teammates to be the best as well. And we have I don't know if others have this kind of family feeling, but I hope we will keep this up.
Well, it's definitely good to have a good community. It makes you all motivated and definitely makes you all want to improve together a faster rate, which you guys certainly did. Uh, if if we would like to keep up with you and the rest of Team Israel, where can they find some of your content?
We have our Twitter, Team Israel Twitter. I think the most information is going to be there, and we also have our fan Discord. This is like the two places where we are communicating the most with our fans.
Oh well, thank you very much. This has been Reaction Gaming Esports here with Fragon, head coach of Team Israel and Team Triumph for NA contenders. And thank you very much for listening. Goodbye.